Good afternoon and welcome. I am Dave Altoff, Director of the Energy Programs Office at the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. I'm standing in today for Secretary Shirley. I want to thank you for joining us to celebrate 2 gigawatts of installed solar here in Pennsylvania. And what a great day to do this. A sunny day like today to bring clean, renewable energy to Pennsylvania. This is the exact right moment for us to celebrate 2 gigawatts of solar. This is a big deal for Pennsylvania. 2 gigawatts of solar is enough energy to power all of the homes, the single-family dwellings here in York County and Cumberland County. That's 350,000 homes with a little bit left over. And we reached this milestone quickly, just a year and a half after hitting 1 gigawatt of solar installed in December of 2023. So why is this a big deal? We know that electricity demand is increasing across the board. And I know that it is increasing because look at all the electronics that I have in my house and at my place of work these days. Many more phones and screens than ever before. As well, electric vehicles that can charge right here, right there at Pinchot State Park. I drove an EV to this event today. Businesses and industries are also using more electricity. Whether it's manufacturing or high-capacity data centers, more electricity is being used and is going to be used in this Commonwealth. And on days like this, during the summer, I think we can all agree that conveniences are what we look for. And having air conditioning in our homes and our places of work is a big deal. So renewable energy sources like solar, which are providing the electrons today during these hot summer days, are part of the reasons, chief among them, how we fight climate change, how we provide clean and renewable electricity to power our lives, especially during these hot summer days. The electricity that comes from renewable energy, like these solar panels, cut pollution and improve our air quality, something we are keen on here at the Department of Environmental Protection. So putting on these panels is more than just deploying solar. It's a part of Governor Shapiro's Lightning Plan. And this plan will create or protect more than 15,000 Pennsylvania jobs and save more than $660 million for consumers by 2040. It will generate more than $11 billion in clean, reliable energy investments. First is the Pennsylvania Reliable Sustainability Standard, PRESS, which would modernize our alternative energy portfolio standard to incentivize more clean energy as a part of Pennsylvania's energy mix. One thing that PRESS promotes is battery storage, because as great as these panels are, and as much as the sun shines, sometimes the sun doesn't shine, like at nighttime, like when it's cloudy. Part of the plan of energy storage matching together with solar is to be able to maximize that energy generation when the sun is shining, so therefore we can utilize that power when the sun is not shining. Another part of the plan is encouraging community energy projects that put smaller scale energy arrays, like solar arrays, on the ground and allows communities to jointly invest in local energy projects and sell that excess electricity to the grid. Finally, I want to mention PACER, which is a program that puts a limit on climate pollution from fossil fuel energy sources and invests into Pennsylvania's workforce and drive new clean energy development. If implemented, these programs and other parts of the Lightning Plan would keep Pennsylvania positioned as a national leader to meet this new energy moment. So in conclusion, I want to say, getting from 1 gigawatt to 2 gigawatts in just a year and a half is a tremendous accomplishment. I want to acknowledge both the DEP staff, the PUC staff, and the DCNR staff who are here in their role in promoting renewable energy. I also want to thank Mike Walsh from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for letting us use this wonderful park and for leading by example and essentially putting up these solar panels that surround us here today. And now I'd like to turn it over to PUC Chair Steve DeFrank, who also deserves kudos for him and the staff at the Pennsylvania Utility Commission for helping us make this achievement of 2 gigawatts of solar. Thank you.
For you. Thank you, Dave, for the warm welcome. Welcome, everyone. My name's Steve DeFrank. I'm the chairman of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. I want to thank our colleagues at DCNR and Deputy Secretary Walsh for hosting us here at beautiful Gifford Pinchot State Park. It's great to see solar here woven directly into spaces at the park where innovation meets conservation. About a month ago, earlier this spring, Pennsylvania surpassed 2 gigawatts of installed solar generation, which about doubled our capacity in just 17 months. As Dave said, he did a home comparison here in York and Cumberland counties, but I'll put it in a little different perspective. We have enough installed solar capacity now in Pennsylvania, 2 gigawatts, to power all the homes in Pittsburgh, Allentown, Erie, Scranton, York, and Williamsport. And this is more than just symbolic. It's a demonstration of how fast our energy mix is evolving here in real time. Nearly half of this capacity, about 967 megawatts, comes directly from grid-scale solar, meaning that it's bypassing our local distribution systems and going directly on our interstate grid. Meanwhile, the number and size of projects have soared, a clear sign that both Pennsylvanians and Pennsylvania utilities are embracing solar power here. Over 500 megawatts of new solar power is already under construction within the Commonwealth. And why this matters? It's because our energy needs are growing, not shrinking, as Dave pointed out. Electrification of industry, electrification of our transportation sector, and data center demand is driving the soaring demand for electricity. And it's about an all-the-above strategy, combining clean energy with reliability, affordability, and smart planning. Solar is just one piece of the puzzle, but today is a reminder that when policy, innovation, and public commitment align, we can achieve great things together. I look forward to what comes next. And with that, I'll hand it off to Deputy Secretary Walsh from DCNR. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Thank you, Chairman DeFrank. It's good to see you, and it's great to be with you and Dave, and welcome you all here to Gifford Pinchot State Park as we mark this important milestone. This is something that Pennsylvania has achieved thanks to the efforts of DEP and the PUC and a host of public and private partners from across the state who have worked together to advance renewable energy. And DCNR is proud, really proud, to be part of that effort. And I think it's fitting that we're here on this beautiful day at Gifford Pinchot State Park to talk about the importance of renewable energy and promoting conservation practices that reduce our carbon footprint and protect the environment. And I want to take a moment just to thank Jennifer Parks, our state parks manager here, who is not with us today, but Paige Steffi, the assistant park manager, is here, and Rangers Grove and Albright are here. And we have a great team that take care of this beautiful place day in and day out. So I want to thank them. Let's hear that, hear it for them and all the people who work at DCNR. Good team. As we know, Gifford Pinchot was a pioneer who led the way in tackling some of the most difficult issues of his time. He was, of course, the first forester, the first chief of the U.S. Forest Service. He helped set aside with Teddy Roosevelt hundreds of millions of acres of public lands that we now enjoy today. After that, he became head of the agency that was the predecessor to DEP and DCNR and helped create the forest system here in the Commonwealth that we enjoy today. And then, of course, Pinchot served as governor. As he strived to do the greatest good for the greatest number in the long run, he was putting into place the modern conservation movement in the United States. And he inspired generations by the actions that he took, ones that literally have protected the landscape of our nation. But being here today is more than just symbolic. We are literally standing next to the solar panels that provide cool shade and that generate all the electricity that's needed to power this park. We've heard from visitors that they love spending time here and returning to a car that is much cooler because it's under one of these solar arrays. The 342 kilowatt solar installation behind us here was dedicated by our secretary, Cindy Adams Dunn, during Earth Week this past April. And it was the 30th solar array that we dedicated to help launch our 30th anniversary. It's an anniversary we share with DEP. DEP and DCNR were launched on July 1st, 1995, and have been spending these last 3 decades committed to this work. And in a very visual way, these 5 canopy structures and the ground-mounted array at the sewage treatment plant, as I mentioned, provide all the power for the 22 First Energy Met-Ed accounts that are here at the park, and that saves us about $45,000 annually in our electric bills. Now, here's the exciting part. By the end of this year, we will have 38 total solar arrays in our state parks and forests. And by 2030, all of our electricity will come from renewable sources. We think that's a pretty big deal. And all this is having a really big impact. The solar arrays, the 35 electric vehicles that we have in our fleet, including one that's right there, the 17 LEED buildings that we have, and our statewide GESA, the Guaranteed Energy Savings Act projects that we have now put in place across our footprint, are not only reducing our energy consumption, but it's lowering our carbon footprint. And all in, we are reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 8,000 metric tons annually. That's also, just with the solar, like taking 660 cars off the road each year. So while that's important to share with all of you today, it's really great that the visiting public who come to our parks and forests have a chance to see that up close and firsthand. From the first solar array that we installed at DCNR in 1979 at Mount Pisgah State Park, through the ones that are going to come online this year, DCNR is making a really visible commitment to renewable energy and providing an opportunity for folks to see what we're doing and understand why we're doing it. Here at Pinchot, they welcome about 500,000 visitors each year. And we hope that all of the folks that come here to Gifford Pinchot, those who go to Ohiopyle out near where Steve grew up, those who go to Lackawanna and Presque Isle, or the Buchanan State Forest, or any of the other places that we have solar arrays, we hope that not only do they return to a car that is a little cooler, but we hope that they think about the ways that they can reduce their own carbon footprint, the ways that they can maybe lower their energy bills, and maybe they'll be inspired to go home and place a solar array at their residence. I want to thank the DCNR team. We have a great team in place who has been working on this. Some of them are here today, Allie Bowling and Jake Newton, Justin Royer. Some others are here. They are really dedicated to not only making these investments, but demonstrating it to the public, to the visitors, and taking steps that will have benefits for a really long time to come. I'm certain that with the continued efforts of our team, working with the PUC and with DEP, and especially through the individual efforts of people across this Commonwealth, we will arrive at 3 gigawatts in even less time than it took to get to 2 gigawatts. So I want to thank everyone for coming together. Let's keep pushing together and moving forward together. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate that sentiment, and we're certainly working to get to that 3 gigawatts in short order. So are there any questions for myself or Chair DeFrank or Deputy Secretary Walsh? Yes, sir.
Is there a long-term goal for how many gigawatts we're looking for in the state?
Well, there's not really a long-term goal. You know, several years ago, we did an exercise whereby we were planning out what a solar future would look like in Pennsylvania, and we had sort of created a stretch goal to say, what would it look like to get to 10% solar by 2030? That equaled, you know, getting ourselves to 10 or 11 gigawatts of solar by the year 2030. Interestingly enough, the trajectory of that, it takes a little while to ramp up, is pretty much following along with that stretch goal. So reaching this 2 gigawatt plateau, or 2 gigawatt what do I want to say? Milestone, that's correct. Reaching this 2 gigawatt milestone is kind of actually on time. And frankly, if we reach 3 in the next year and a half to a year and go beyond that, we'll be on a pace to reach that 10% solar by 2030. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.